Today on Passion for Food, we're going to be making the most amazing lemon ricotta cake. This Italian-inspired dessert is moist and delicious, and that lemon glaze really takes it over the edge. And the best part is, it's really a piece of cake to make. So let's go ahead and jump in here and get started. This cake is super moist and delicious, and one of the reasons is not only does it have wonderful ricotta cheese in it, but also butter. 3/4 of a cup specifically, that's 1.5 sticks. And to that, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. And while I affixed my beater attachment here, I was trying to come up with a sweet food pun for you guys, but I would hate to get creamed. Anyway, once the sugar and butter are creamed together, we have the excellent addition of 3 eggs. We'll go ahead and get those incorporated. Now, this is really easy to do by hand, by the way. I'm just being a little lazy today and using the stand mixer. Hey, we all have lazy days. Don't you judge me. Anyway, once our eggs are nicely incorporated, it's time to talk about lemons. Now, a lot of the flavor in lemons is actually in the rind itself, so we're going to zest both of these. And in addition to that wonderful zest, we also want the juice of these lemons. So let's go ahead and just squeeze those right on in here. Roar. You've got to growl a little just to show the lemon who's boss. And now it's time for the star of the show, this ricotta cheese. This is 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta. It's kind of funny, one of the recipes I was looking at while I was researching for this actually said that adding the ricotta cheese is what made their cake light and airy. And I couldn't help but laugh, like, really? You think the pound of cheese you're adding is making your cake light and airy? Yeah, okay. If you believe that, I've got some dehydrated water for sale. Anyway, now that I'm done trashing some random food blogger, let's add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract along with 1.5 cups of flour. And finally, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Now, I'm putting this right on top for a reason. That lemon juice in there is going to activate it right away. And because of that, it's really important that once we get this mixed together, we get it into the pan and into the oven as quickly as possible. I decided to use a bundt pan for mine, but a spring-form pan would also be a good choice here. And I'm just going to give that a quick spray of oil. No need to add any flour on the inside. If yours is non-stick like mine is, I actually think the flour makes things stick even more. And finally, it's time to batter up. We'll just dump this in here and try and get it as even as we can. Once we're happy with that, I'm going to give it a little shake for no apparent reason. And then we're going to go into a 350-degree oven where we're going to bake this for 40 to 55 minutes. After 40 minutes, we're going to go ahead and check with a toothpick. That large time range is because if you're using a spring-form pan, it takes a little longer to cook. But this was perfect, so we'll go ahead and pull this out. And before trying to get this out onto a cooling rack, I'm going to let that cool just for 10 minutes. Mostly that just helps prevent us from burning ourselves quite so easily. So we'll go ahead and turn this out onto a rack. And then there's that always faithful moment of, will it release? And yes, it will. Now, you could serve this warm, but especially if you're like me and you're planning on glazing this, you want to let it cool completely. And as for the glaze, it just couldn't be easier. All we want is about 1 cup of sugar and a tablespoon or so of lemon juice. Now, this is powdered sugar, of course. And we'll just whisk that until smooth. We can add more sugar or lemon if necessary to adjust the texture. And we'll just drizzle that wonderful lemon glaze over our now cool lemon ricotta cake. Alternatively, you could just top with a little powdered sugar, but then I wouldn't have gotten this great drizzle shot. But that's it, so let's go ahead and grab a couple of slices of this awesome lemon ricotta cake. The texture on this reminded me a little bit of a pound cake, but even more moist, and I really think that lemon is a great addition. I actually doubled the lemon of most of the ricotta cake recipes I saw, and still, if I made it again, I think I'd add a 3rd lemon. I really like the lemon in there. A special thanks to Isabella from Isabella's Quick Recipe for suggesting ricotta cake. I'll put a link to her channel down in the description. And finally, I just wanted to leave you with this. Did you know it's easy to lose weight with cake? Just don't eat it. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Passion for Food. If you have, give me a thumbs up below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss our future videos. And check out one of our other great recipes playing on the screen now. This has been Graham with Passion for Food.